welcome to a new episode of Cultural Magazine in which we bring to you the best cultural activities taking place here in Egypt. So now let's see what we have in store for you. We are now at the gallery of the visual artist Muhammad Abla. It is entitled Inspired by the Silk Road. It entails 75 artistic works. Artist Muhammad Abla won many international awards due to his great artistic contributions.
The exhibition it's about the Silk Road. It's a story which goes back thousands of years. It's about interacting, culture mixing together. So this show, it is out of more than 2 years of reading about fairy tales and stories from China till Egypt. So you can read, there is a lot of stories inside these paintings. Art gives hope and really gives energy for people to face the problems, what we have. So in this work, I'm trying to give hope to people. It is good, as you see, many art lovers and many young people. So it's a good future, inshallah.
I think it's fantastic, and I'm very happy to come and see Muhammad Abla's new work. It is so full of color and so full of fantasy, and it's for me wonderful to be here. I think it is very exciting. When you travel to Europe and all over, you don't find this type of art many places. It's full of excitement, full of life, full of energy. So I think we should be very proud of our Egyptian painters. I will just say Alf Mabruk, Muhammad Abla. I am so proud of you, and it's a big honor for him to be in this fantastic place.
I'm honored to have here the Indian ambassador to Egypt, Sanjay Bhattacharya. First of all, thank you, sir, for joining us on Nile TV International.
Delighted to be on Nile TV.
Thank you, sir. I would like to know more from you about the gallery. How do you see it, and what do you like most about it?
Well, as you know, Muhammad Abla is one of Egypt's leading artists. So when he does an exhibition, it has a special feel about it. And I think as you look around the gallery, you will see it. When I was speaking with Mr. Abla before, what he mentioned was that he was really looking out towards the east. And I see a lot of evidence of his connection with the east, particularly with cultures that are old ancient civilizations like India. India and Egypt, as you know, go back a very, very long way. But this is a remarkable display of a facet of that particular connection between two ancient civilizations to the eyes of a very, very perceptive artist. because what you see here is amazing technique, but more importantly, a lot of new visualization, the visualization of the Orient, of the East. I'm very excited about Egyptian art. I have seen a fair amount, and I think it comes out in very different forms. There is a fair amount that is deeply rooted in the strong tradition and culture of Egypt itself. There is one that is very strongly influenced by the West. But what really strikes me as most exciting is the exchanges that Egyptian art does with other cultures, and this is one of those. I've also seen over the years that Egyptian art, not just in the form of paintings, but there are various other forms. I think in the plastic arts, there are tremendous items of display which are truly magnificent. Well, it's a very strong cooperation that we have between India and Egypt. We have our cultural center. The Indian Cultural Center spearheads our cultural cooperation between the two sides. We host classes in Indian language, in yoga, and in dance. What we also do is, given that the very strong affection for Bollywood in India, we have formed a film club in our culture center. We also have a discussion group which is known as the Makic Roundtable, which discusses issues of common relevance. The most recent one was on the Sustainable Development Goals, but we discuss other themes as well. I see much more exchange between dancers and artists of films. At the Cairo Festival, we recently had 3 films from India which did extremely well. They were on very strong women's issues. We are looking for closer collaboration between the civil society of the two countries. So we work on many of the related issues. We would also like to see much more of organized exchanges. We, as you know, organize a very large India by the Nile cultural festival. It is perhaps the largest foreign cultural festival in Egypt, and in 2017 it will be held in the month of March and April. And it's particularly special because this is the 70th anniversary of India's independence, so we will have a very, very big show. And I'm also excited about the fact that Egypt is planning to do a similar festival of Egypt by the Ganges in India later in 2017. So we have a very exciting cultural calendar ahead of us. Art has a very significant role because, you know, you can't divorce art from the reality of society. Societies are very dynamic in nature and they're constantly changing, updating themselves. And art plays a very important critical role in that because it gives vent to the expression. In this exhibition, for instance, I think you see a very strong representation of the very strong heritage of Egypt, and at the same time the linkages that it can make with other cultures. So art will continue to play a very, very significant role, and art in all its forms, whether it is through the media or it's through films or it's through theater, paintings, the works.
The photographic movement in Egypt is one of the oldest movements in the world, and the photographers of Egypt have been keen not only just to represent their own ideology but also to represent the pulse of the society and to preserve the history and cultural heritage of Egypt. And now let's enjoy together the following photography exhibition.
Photography exhibition was held in which 9 Egyptian photographers took part. We made the following interviews with them and they talked about their artistic works.
This is my first year here to participate in African Wilderness exhibition. I participated with 4 photos. This year the trip was very thrilling. We traveled to Kenya, Masai Mara, Nairobi, and Naivasha. The trip was thrilling by photographing the migration, the wild beast migration in Masai Mara, from Masai Mara to Tanzania, to Serengeti, and from Serengeti to Masai Mara. This year, this event is the biggest event in wildlife photography in the entire Africa. All wildlife photographers from the world is participating there, and we as African Wilderness from Egypt is going there to get action wildlife photos and action wildlife videos to put our fingerprint in this field, in the wildlife photography field. Talking about the difficulties in the wildlife photography is one of the most difficult photography types. We travel huge distances to see the species. We go sometimes into the mud to get closer to the animals. We have to study the animal's habitat to be able to get the perfect shot we are seeking for. The photo behind me in the background, this photo is for vervet monkeys. This is a mother and a kid. They were playing with each other. If you look at the photo, you can see it's like a mother, a human mother who is talking to her kid, don't do this and do this. They have feeling too, and we should learn the feeling and know their habitats and their behavior in order to get the shoot we are looking for. The exhibition is in cooperation with African Wilderness. This year we have 9 participating in this exhibition. This is one of the most successful wildlife exhibitions in the entire area, in the Middle East area, maybe in Africa. We add to each other by having a different eyes. Everyone has his own look and his own style in taking the shoots. By having this group of different cultures, different experience, different photographers, you can see the variety in this exhibition. The photo is an ambassador for us in Egypt as a wildlife photographers, as a culture photographers. Our vision is to make everyone shoot the best photos he can take in everywhere. The environment, we try to spread the environment culture and how is environment important to our community and to our society. Our vision is to display this exhibition in everywhere in Egypt. We are trying to make contacts with several publishers, several art house to move this exhibition, traveling around Egypt or to move it around Egypt. We are doing our best to spread this art among our country.
I'm happy today to attend such a great exhibition, which is rare to find exhibition about wildlife made by Egyptian photographers. It's very good thing that we found such a great photographer. For the second year they doing it, and I hope next year I'll be with them to take such very good pictures. It's a very good challenge to go every year to such places like Kenya, Zambia, and the other African country to show us the type of life.
The Cairo Opera House is rich in its cultural activities, including theater, opera, music concerts, ballet, as well as art exhibitions. And now let's enjoy one of the Opera House's activities. this segment, we will be entering the world of female visual artists through the exhibition Creative Female Artists in Egypt. And actually, this is an interesting and important exhibition where around 14 female artists are participating with a variety of works. So we can see the paintings, we can see sculpture, we can see ceramic work, we can see collage, we can see abstract work and a variety of forms, and we can hear important names like Dr. Nazli Matkour, Dr. Aula Youssef, and many other. And we have the pioneering generations in addition also to the younger generations. So now let's learn more about this exhibition. Joining me right now is visual artist and sculptor Dr. Nahla Wagdi. Dr. Nahla is also a professor at the Faculty of Fine Arts, and she is one of the participants in today's exhibition. Welcome with us, Doctor. Now, first of all, would you tell us about the theme of this exhibition?
It's about feminine power in art and about the role of the women in sculpture specific. I try to present different kinds of materials, such as ceramic sculpture, different materials like polyester and stone. I even tried new ways in painting the sculpture, different ways to make it a little bit untraditional. It's a different experience, and I wanted to go through different materials like this one and the other one. I used nails with beads, thousands of beads, and get it through the bead, each one another, and folded or covered it with different layers of white glue to make it stick together.
How long did it take you to do the group of works here?
Each one from 1 week to 3 weeks, and the ceramic sculpture from 3 to 7 days, I think. I guess so.
Did you do it for this particular exhibition, or you had it done for?
I did the first one and the third one for my first expedition, and the third one with the polyester material. other one, the second piece of art, I used a polyester as a material, and I presented in my second exhibition with the stone one, the one that I did it from stone, and this one, and the last one. But this one, it was a ceramic sculpture too.
Well, group exhibition, or you've done group exhibitions before?
I have done a group exhibition before this one. So many.
And what about your private exhibitions?
It was two, the first one and the second one, and I didn't present anything at a solo exhibition yet.
Wonderful. What about the topics? Are they always about women, or you do other topics as well?
It's not about women. It's this exhibition is about the women power in art and what they can present for themselves to the public and to the. Yes, but it's not a specific. It's not the topic for each one of the work. I try a lot to open ways while I think and do it in the.
There is a lot of them in the abstract form.
Yes, it's modern and it's contemporary art, it's contemporary sculpture, and it's about a specific topic. It's open, anyone can just see it and imagine. Each vision from each one give a value for the piece of art.
Seen together a variety of cultural activities taking place here in Egypt, and by this we come to the end of this episode of Cultural Magazine. Until we meet again in a new episode, it's goodbye.